What's up, guys? Chan the Barber back at it again, and today I've got a haircut tutorial with one of my clients. His name's Jacob, and he came in kind of wanting to do a bald fade on the sides with a heavier top, doing a middle part. But after we talked, he decided he wanted to leave a little bit more length on the sides and not really do a tight fade, but kind of still leave the middle part heavier top. So we're going to do that. And this will be a good demonstration of kind of just a classic cut. A lot of the techniques that I use in this can be used for pretty much any haircut. So we're going to start by, I saturated the hair well, and then we're going to do a horseshoe section. Basically sectioning the top from the sides, and we're following the way the hair moves. So along the parietal ridge is where we're kind of following, but making clean parts, separating the top out. This is super important to have clean work. Helps you cut better and gives you a better end result. After that, we're going to take our clipper over comb, and we're going to use it, and we're going to use that technique, the clipper over comb technique. This is not a technique I use every time, but I'd like to show it to you. It's an easy way to kind of see what you're doing, especially if you kind of slow it down, look what you're cutting. Right now, I'm going to set the foundation. So I'm going to go along the parietal ridge. I have my comb straight up, vertical, and just making that square, and I'm pulling the hair up and determining the length that I want the top length to be, and then from there we will cut further down leading up into that top length. So we set that foundation first so we know what we don't want to go past, and then we'll also have the foundation for the length to cut the sides to. So I usually like to do one side of the head going into the back first, and I go through and cut all the hair under, and then I'll go to the other side and do the same thing. But it's important in that setting the foundation, the length that you want, keeping it consistent, keeping your body position square, and then as you come under the length you previously cut, you want to tilt your comb to that length that we previously cut. Push the comb in and then tilt out, and when it hits that length that you previously cut, then you would cut everything underneath. And you go along the head doing this, and you can use different angles to kind of cross-check. But basically, this would essentially be like if we were using a number 3 or 4 guard. But this way, I like it because you can just really tailor the haircut. And it's really nice for the client because they see that you care, and you're not just throwing a guard on and going to town. Now, I do that a lot, especially when the shop gets busy and you just need to pump haircuts out. But this is going to be good for this tutorial, and clipper over comb technique is really a great technique to have in your arsenal for when you need to use it. And I know some guys that really use it well and have really picked up speed with it and are able to do most every haircut with it, just because it comes second nature. I think it's really good to not just rely on your clipper guards all the time. You might be in situations where you need to, you might not have clipper guards, and you need to do a really nice haircut. And so you can utilize different techniques. And sometimes even when I cut with my guards, I still will go through with the clipper over comb in certain scenarios, whether it be blending the parietal ridge in or connecting hair. It's all around a good technique. So practice practice this if you have not. Take it slow. You don't have to go super fast. Get a mannequin head and really practice that, because it's helped me a ton over the years that I've been cutting to really nail that down. So I'm going to go through and kind of get this side done into the back, and then I'll work on the other side, and it'll be pretty much the same thing that we're doing on the other side, just doing that same technique. While I'm going through this other side, just want to thank you for tuning into my channel. I have been on YouTube for probably about 4 years now. I saw my channel take off 2 years ago with a video that went viral, and I gained a lot of subscribers from that. However, it was gained from a shorts that I posted, and the way that works is it's not necessarily like an organic base of people that have come to my channel from like long form content. And so after that, it's just been a little difficult to get people to really trek with what I'm doing. So I'm hoping that this year will be a little different. I'm trying to make my content, all the pieces of content that I do, just make it things that I really care about and really want to put out, and not just try to do videos for likes or clicks. So I want to do a lot more of this. I want to do a lot more kind of teaching and instructing. And so thank you for tuning in, and I hope you get something out of this. So once we finish that, we're going to get into connecting the top length into the sides, and I'm going to do some sectioning here, and this is going to really help with the scissor work. Any kind of classic haircut, this sectioning works really well for. So I'm going to split it down the middle through the top, and then I find the highest point of the head. And once I found that, I'm going to go down each side to around the back of the earlobe, and I'm going to split off that section. I'm going to show you an overview in a second, so you'll see how it's kind of laid out. But then I go from that center highest point from the top, and then I make kind of a triangle in that fringe section. And we'll separate that out because that's really where all the style comes from. So there you can see it's not completely perfect, but that's kind of how we're sectioning it out. And then we take that back right side, going diagonal, making sections, pulling the hair down to the direction it wants to go. And we're going to pull that hair into our foundation, and anything that is extending over, we cut. So when you pull that and you hold it with appropriate tension, you can kind of lift that top hair and see your foundation, and then anything that comes over your foundation you want to cut. But if anything is not extending out over it, don't cut. Don't feel the need to cut. I know that starting out, just struggle with that so much, feeling like I needed to cut everything. But sometimes, depending on wherever they got their hair cut previously, or just with their hair in general, there might be portions that don't extend over, and so they don't need to be cut. So we take diagonal sections coming across till the hair will not reach anymore, and then we'll go to the back left section and we'll do the same thing. Just kind of focusing on keeping the shape and just being precise. If you go through and you do this sectioning and you take your time, you're going to come out with a nice clean cut. And these kind of things clients really care about. They see that you're taking your time. They see that you are paying attention to what you're doing, and it makes for just a better experience. They feel like you know what you're doing, and that you're really paying attention to their hair. So once I've done that, then I'm going to go into the side section, and I'm going to connect that. Now you can go through and make little smaller sections for this, but since we're going to come back with some blending shears at the end, and it's such a small section, I just pull everything down and connect it. But just make sure you're paying attention to your foundation underneath that top hair. So once we connect all of that, we'll go to the other side and do the same thing. You want to make sure that the hair is tight and has good tension, just to make sure that you're getting those lengths to match up well. So when it comes to this other side, pull everything down and out, and I'm going to cut down to that length.
How you doing? Good. I think we were more friends with Rebecca. That's his sister-in-law. Yeah. How's she doing? Good. Sarah V said hey. Yeah.
Now we're going to work on that fringe area. So I'm going to come through the side, push diagonally kind of away from that parting, creating smaller sections. We're going to pull a hair down, and this is really a preference, depending on how long they want that fringe to be. But I pull it down diagonally, connecting it, and I like to do a point cutting technique, so it makes it a little softer and not as harsh of a line. Then we pull all that hair to what we previously cut. Anything that is coming over, we will connect it. So once we've pulled everything over and nothing's connecting anymore, then we'll go to the other side and do the same thing. That's what's really nice about kind of this sectioning, is that you have a roadmap. So you have a blueprint of what you're doing, and it makes for cleaner work. You're able to see every little section of hair, and you're able to make sure that it is connecting into other sections. Once we're done with this, I'm going to pull everything up to the center. I'm going to go from the left side, and I'm going to pull everything up to the center, and then we're just going to make sure that everything, when pulled up, we're going to make sure that it's all cut evenly. And then after I do that, I'll go into some blow drying, and then we will use the blending shears, thinning shears to just kind of blend some areas and remove a little bit of weight. It's not hard. Once you do this a couple times through, you'll get the hang of it, and it's really great to, like I said, just kind of have a roadmap for what you're doing. So now, like I said, we're going to pull everything. We want to grab all the hair, pull it up straight, 90 degrees, and we're going to follow through to the front. If you want that fringe to be a lot heavier, then you're going to make that line angle up. Just going to go through and follow back. Just make sure nothing is hanging out that's unnecessary. Once we're done with this, I'll blow dry through. Start to see it kind of shape up.
I'm gonna blow dry it back, and then we'll style it up. I kind of split it and stuff.
Is that what will give it sort of that loop you're kind of looking for?
The blow dry?
Yeah.
So I blow dry it kind of back all together because it's essentially a uniform cut. So either way, it's like same length on the fringe part.
Right.
So blow dry it back allows it to kind of get some of that volume so that when you split it, it looks real nice. But it's like a versatile cut, so you can. So if you ever wanted to wear it kind of up or to like one side or whatever, because it's uniform, you can kind of do what you want.
Yeah, I'm really liking the shape of it.
Yeah.
That's it. My girlfriend Hallie, she's been begging me to do something closer to a mid part.
Oh yeah.
She's just seen it like briefly styled like that once or twice, and she's convinced. She's convinced it's the way to go.
Do what now?
She's convinced it's the best like style to help shape my face and that kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Now I've got my blending shears out, and I am just pulling everything down to the sides, and just right there the foundation meets the top and the sides. I'm going up with my clipper over comb and just kind of hitting the ends, just softening those ends so it blends a lot better. It reduces some of that bulk. But again, you want to be conservative with this. You don't want to just go in and take out huge chunks. I'm just basically tapping those ends and softening that up. So I'm going to go around the head and just hit those areas that need a little bit of softening. And then when that's done, I will kind of go through the top a little bit and just thin a couple areas just to make it all around a softer look. And just really does make a huge difference when you can learn that technique well and utilize it. You don't want to go crazy, and you want to have purpose with what you're doing. Everything that you do with hair cutting, you need to know why you're doing it. You don't need to just go in and start cutting a huge amounts of hair off, not knowing what's the direction, where are you going with it. Now, once I've finished through the top and the sides, going to outline it, make it look nice and clean. Just using my trimmers, making a clean outline of the haircut. When all is said and done, I'm going to put a little bit of product in, and man, really looks nice and clean, and he was super happy with it. Just rub that product in, and then I'm going to split the sides like he split down the middle like he wanted. But this is kind of the shape that we got out of it. Just a nice clean look with that middle part. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.